Hey folks, good morning. It's Ben with Broad Shoulders Farm, and it's October 4th, 2019. And today I've opened up the rooster introduction pen for these guys that are in there to start coming out and becoming full-fledged members of the Bachelor flock. They've been in here for about 2 weeks. They can see the bachelors that already live here. The bachelors can see them, and they've all been chatting with each other and having a few conversations through the fencing. But it's been 2 weeks now. I feel I'm pretty okay going ahead and letting the door open and letting them just kind of come and go as they please. So that by the end of the day, they will, pretty much be full-fledged members of this flock. I mean, it'll take longer than that, but by the end of the day, they shouldn't be in here anymore. Because I'm going to introduce some additional roosters that I need to move out of another spot so that they can come in here and start getting used to what's going on. So far, so good. The door's been open for about an hour. Some of them have come out and gone back in. Some of the roosters that were already living here have gone in there to visit them. No big squabbles. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, toca fera, all that good stuff. But if you haven't seen our rooster paddock before, it's about, it's two lengths of the Premier One electric poultry netting, 264-foot lengths. I think it's about 3,000 square feet that they've got, and I'm slowly working on plantings for them. There was already a big mulberry tree in here and an apple tree, and I've added another mulberry tree. And I have some evergreens to add as well. It's been pretty much near 100 degrees all week, which is ridiculous here in Southside Virginia, Zone 7. Usually we have our first frost in mid to late October, and I think that's been pushed back quite a bit. But it is supposed to get a little bit cooler next week, so that will be much appreciated. But why do I have so many roosters? I think we're certainly at more than 30, though. Only about 20 live in here right now. With these guys, we'll get up to 26. A couple reasons. One, let's talk about it from a breeding standpoint. I've added roosters of different breeds, especially different varieties of Marans, which lay the really nice chocolate eggs from 1, 2, 3, at least 3, I think maybe 4 or 5 different farms, maybe 8 if we include just generic hatchery birds. And so I've been trying to get a really broad range of genetics available to our birds. And a lot of roosters don't really fully mature until they're at least a year old, sometimes 2 years old, and then you get a better idea of their physical characteristics as well as their disposition. I feel pretty comfortable walking around in here. There's only 2 roosters that I have to keep an eye on. One of them is Ralph, who is a wine dot that we got, blue wine dot that we got from Tractor Supply. He's always been a little prickly, but he's come after me once or twice, but he and I have an understanding now. The other one is a little Americana rooster named Red, who I think that's him over there in that little clearing there. That's Red. Red likes to attack me. He doesn't pack too much wallop. His spurs are very dull. Actually, he's got a pretty good kick, but he and I have also come to an understanding. And I guess I'll just mention that right now, so why don't you just get rid of roosters that are aggressive? I've found that most roosters, at least the ones that we have, are not super aggressive. Some of them are actually quite charming. Linus there is Appenzeller Spitzhauben. He hops in and out of the pen every day. He hops and sleeps up in the mulberry tree, and then he comes out early in the morning, spends his whole day free ranging. Then he goes back in. Sometimes if I leave the windows down in my car, he'll run over there and hang out for a while. But I just don't want to kill them. Well, there's that. One, I don't want to kill them. I've certainly seen many animals, many chickens being processed. I know how it's done. I've never done it myself. It's not something that I really want to do outside of euthanasia for medical purposes. I just don't want to do that. All the birds on our farm... Hey, Sven. Oh, wait. I think that's Yorgi. All the birds on our farm have about 6 different jobs, and as long as they can do at least 3 to 4 of them, I've promised them guaranteed lifetime employment. So can they make fertilizer? Roosters can surely do that. They're pooping all the time. Can they till the ground for me? Absolutely. They come in and clear out an area. This whole patch here used to be full of brambles and stickweed, and they've done an amazing job just beating all that down. And I'm excited to come in here when the weather changes and we get some moisture and start turning this into much better, much more usable pasture and forage area for them, make it a much richer environment for them to enjoy their time here. So they can till, they can make fertilizer. Do they eat bugs and do pest control? Absolutely. They eat all kinds of everything. And these guys don't really go through a lot of food because they have such a big area. They're able to free range a lot. I've seen them, they eat mice, they eat lots of bugs, and they just don't go through a lot of food. For a group this big, I top off their food maybe every 2 or 3 days. They get a standard chick starter feed, as well as corn and whole corn and different grains as they're available. But, you know, I really don't have to top them off that much. They spend a lot of their time just, you know, foraging. Let me see. So they can also provide companionship. That's one of the characteristics I've got. I think that's number 4 or so. Some of them are, like I said, really quite charming. They'll ride in the car with me sometimes. Sometimes I'll take them with me to town to meet some of our egg customers, just because people like to meet chickens. And, you know, roosters get a bad rap. So I think there's 5. I feel like there's a 6. I guess the 6th would be egg laying. And, of course, they can't lay eggs. But I'm just now starting, not just now, but I've been kind of dabbling and reading about the genetics. I'm hoping to do a lot of that over the winter. But as I understand it, the roosters can often have more to do with egg color than the hens. And so I definitely have guys carrying some very interesting genes from good lines. Maybe do some introductions here while I can. There's Ranger. He's a Moran's. There's Martin. He is a ice bar, natural green egg layers. Really charming birds. That's Luik. He is a beautiful black copper Moran's. Of course, Red is carrying Americana. Is an Americana, so he's carrying either the blue or the green egg gene. Sven, Yorgi, or 55 out there. All 3 of them look pretty close. Are excellent birds developed by Sweden as layers of big white eggs. I have very, very few leghorns, like in about 200, I'm pretty close to 200 chickens, and I've got maybe 5 leghorns, roosters and or hens. I just wanted to go with some different breeds that were more interesting to me and that had a better disposition. So I've got the Swedish 55s. This is Mert. Of course, that's French for shit, because he can be a jerk sometimes, not to me, but to the other birds. But he's actually a beautiful meat bird. He was included in an order from a breeder. He's not something I would have requested because we don't process our birds, so we don't need them for meat, but he's still able to do a lot, so he gets to stay. That's Crooked-Toe. He's an Appenzeller Spitzhauben. Also not something that I would have ordered, but included as a freebie with an order from a breeder, and that's fine. He's actually quite nice. Linus outside the fence is also an Appenzeller Spitzhauben. Homer is a whiting true blue. I can tell him from the other white birds because of, well, I can recognize him from the Swedish 55s because of the splash of black in his tail. I showed you the week. That is Blackjack Shalak, who is a another Moran's. Let me see. Silver is in here somewhere. There's Silver back there coming around the corner. Silver is a Silver Moran's. And this is the house that I have for the boys, though honestly for most of this summer they've been sleeping up in the tree every night, which I'm fine with. Their electric fence is on at night to keep predators out. But I built a mobile chicken coop for them. There's a divider right here, so if they're meeting new birds, they can hang out there, and the regular flock sleeps in here. Nice wide perches. I use 2x3s so that they can put their legs on, or put their feet on them, and then also settle down and cover their feet with their feathers. And I can move this around as needed. Let's see, what else is here? Let me show you the guys who are moving in and joining the flock. Hey lads. So Vizarian is a whiting true blue. He's the only one, sorry, oh, it's Flops. He's the only one who's come out so far. Actually, Vizarian was out earlier. Now I guess Flops is out for a little bit. These are the boys in here. We've had the door open for a little while, as I mentioned earlier. That gentleman there is a Sussex. That's Vizarian. He's another whiting true blue. Azida is a azure egger from Alchemist Farm. Robert. Hey, Robert. Robert is a leg bar roux from, he's from Dragonfly, I'm pretty sure. And Hootman there, sorry, Robert's not from Dragonfly, Robert's from Foxfire. Hootman is from Dragonfly, private breeder in North Carolina. Hootman is an olive egger. You know, lots of these guys either arrive by being ordered straight run, which means that you get a mix of the sexes. The birds aren't sexed. You don't know what you're going to get. And I've definitely had some, not the best of luck with those in terms of like I'll get, I got 4 copper Morans one time and 3 of them were roosters, which is fine. They were good boys. Continue to be good boys, those that are still with us. But anyhow, so this is where the roosters are right now. We also keep roosters in with our hens. Each of our groups, and we have 3 main groups. We're actually about to have 4, but I got to finish building their house. Has a group of roosters with them. There's usually 40 or so hens and usually 4 to 5 roosters with each group. And all of this is being developed as a food force for them to be rotated through. So that's where we are right now. If you have any questions, just let me know. Sorry, this was a little rambling. I'd like to try and tighten these up a bit more as I do more of them and hopefully get better. So I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.